Okay, so continuation with our modules. So that is week 10. Okay, so let's see switch statement. Okay. So I'll notice here switch statement. Okay, you have this program, like for example, a switch, then the expression, and then the case constant 1, 2, and 3, and then the default. Okay, so code to be executed. Okay, doesn't match any constant. Okay, so how does this statement work using this flowchart? So the expression is evaluated once, okay, and compare the values to each of the cases, okay, and then if there is a match, okay, with the corresponding code after the matching label is executed. So for example, if the value of the variable is equal to constant 2, okay, and the code after the case constant 2, okay, is executed until the break statement is encountered. Okay, so like for example, if it appears in the constant 2, then the code for the block 2 will be executed, and then it reaches a break, then it will terminate the what you call this switch statement. Okay, if there are no matching, the code after the default is executed. Okay, and then so we can do the same thing for the if and else and if ladder. So however, the syntax for the switch statement is cleaner and much easier to read and write. Okay, so let us have an example here. So creating a calculator using a switch statement. Okay, so you have your characters, which are the operators, then float, so these are the integers or two numbers, and then entering an operator. So the operators available are the plus, negative, multiply, and then the divisor. Okay, and then the input will be the operators. Okay, and then enter two numbers, so that is the number 1 and 2. Then the switch operation. Okay, so if the case will be positive, okay, or plus, okay, so it will execute this code, and then it will reach the break, so that break statement uh, as encountered here. So if in the case of the -9, okay, minus, so the numbers entered will be subtracted, okay, and then it will reach a breakpoint, okay, and then similarly with multiplication, divisor, and then division, and then if none of the operators appears, so the default will be this one, okay, and we'll reach the break. And then for the outputs here, so you'll notice one its output. Okay, output 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, so let's try this program. Just copy, then create a new. And let's say this will be my execute run. So switch. Okay. So as shown here, enter an operator. So there are 4 options available. Okay, the plus, minus, multiply, and then divide. So let's try plus, and then enter. Enter two numbers, let's say 25 and 23. Okay, enter. Okay, so the sum is executed. Okay, for this particular switch statement, which is in that case, the operator will be plus. Okay, so it will execute this code, and then the numbers 1, okay, which is 25, plus second inputting value, which is 23, will be equal to the sum of the two numbers. Okay, and then we'll reach a break and it will end the program. Okay, so if I'm going to try again, let's say the operator now becomes subtraction. Okay, so let's try subtraction. Enter two numbers, 20 and then 21. Okay, so the difference between the two numbers is -1. Okay, Similarly, if that's product, so let's try product. This one. So multiply two numbers, 3 and 9. So that gives us 27. Okay, if I'm going to use division, okay, 6 and 2 gives us an answer of 3. And similarly, if I'm going to choose none of those operators, so let's try this one. Okay, so error. Enter two numbers. Okay, so 0. Okay, so error should be incorrect. Okay, let's try again. Oops, it goes. Default. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. Enter two numbers. Error, the operator is not correct. Okay, so none of these choices. So that's one example. So from the above, so this is the statement performs an addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. Okay, so notice that the break statement is used inside each cases. Okay, so this terminates the switch statement. So if the break statement is not used, all cases after the correct case are executed. So we prompt this as the user enters plus sign, so addition is performed, negative, subtraction, and so on. So if the user enters any other characters, so the default code is printed, which is at the bottom. Okay, so the error, the operator is not correct. Okay, so if there are any sample here, let's try this one. This is similar, okay, from that example.